Shazam?
From superhero.
I don't know where we go from here. I don't know what comes next, but this, we did this.
To Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, man, I know who you are. I'm Kurt.
Zachary Levi lands larger-than-life acting roles quite regularly.
How would you describe the childhood or the life of Zachary Levi Pugh?
How much time you got? I mean, I think like most kids, in the moment, when I was a kid, it was normal. There wasn't anything, particularly traumatic or that I could point to and say like, oh, I'm living a traumatized life. You don't realize that until far later in life, hopefully. A lot of people don't ever realize that. Looking back on it, I can assure you an incredibly traumatizing childhood. There was just lots and lots of unhealthy, toxic behavior that was going on. Again, I could tell you that there were things that were making me cry on a regular basis or things that I was afraid of on a regular basis. But I didn't necessarily see those as being anything other than, well, I guess this is normal. I guess this is what other kids probably deal with as well, So that would be, a snapshot into my life, I suppose.
What do you think childhood for you did to your adulthood?
Young Zach was this, I don't know, little boy kind of just lost in a sea of estrogen between my sisters, my mom, my aunts, my grandma. But fortunately, this is the grace of God, not just the grace of God, but the plans of God, I figured out very early on in life, probably around 4, was when I was first truly cognizant of the idea that I could make someone laugh intentionally. Before that, every kid makes people laugh accidentally. You don't know why. Around 4, I think I was finally smart enough to go, oh, I can do this thing. I can do X or Y, and that will make somebody laugh. And I also knew, because I think at 4, you're emotionally intelligent enough to know that a laughing, smiling person feels good. And I never, ever wanted to stop doing that. I was immediately called to, addicted to, not realizing also that because I was lost in this world and trying to find identity and worth and value and all that jazz, I was both, fulfilling a calling, I think, in my life, but also figuring out very quickly how to run away from metabolizing my pain, figuring out how to be the clown, be the guy, bring the happy, bring the joy.
You don't have a tape in here, but it's digital.
Being a quick study earned Levi a starring role early and an escape from real life. Abuse, a mom with mental struggles, and an absent father.
I was running from pain. My whole life I was running from pain. I'm grateful that I was able to find what I loved to do and what I was good at doing at such a young age, because I think a lot of people don't. Even though that was also something that was, I think, insulating me from doing a lot of the work that I needed to do that eventually led me to having a massive breakdown later on in life.
He shares his story with us and even more in his memoir, Radical Love, Learning to Accept Yourself and Others.
You talk about going from suicidal to superhero and then suicidal again. Take me back to the rock bottom moment. What happened?
I felt like I was failing, ultimately. Like most of my life, I've felt like a failure, even though from the outside it looks like, oh, I'm very much succeeding. But I'm not succeeding on the level that I feel like I'm supposed to or that I was called to.
She's a little artsy. With music, Broadway, the big and small screens on his resume, he left Hollywood.
With a head full of steam and dreams, I moved out to Austin, and I didn't know anyone out there. And all of a sudden, after 15 years of living in Los Angeles and having community and support structure and all of those things, I was now, Geronimo, let's go. Oh, wait a minute, now I'm alone. Oh, wait a minute, this isn't happening the way that I felt like God was calling me out here to do this, and why aren't the doors opening? Oh my gosh, I have blown up my life. I have now entirely failed my life. There is no coming back from this failure. I would say if suicide is climbing a 10-rung ladder, I was at rung 9. And thankfully, I have family and friends that surrounded me, supported me, were there for me, and just enough for me to get up and go to therapy, this life-saving therapy. But it was a perfect storm. But it was 37 years of lots and lots and lots and lots of trauma, unhealed trauma. A real testament of how I think, God works and what we ought to prioritize. I was not prioritizing the most important thing, which was to actually invest in myself and to care for myself and love myself, because I didn't understand that. So to go away and do this therapy, finally, and really figure out, oh my gosh, I haven't loved myself my entire life. I've never even understood what that meant. And also, oh, this feeling that I feel inside, that I felt my whole life, that's anxiety? Oh, I'm glad I finally know what anxiety is.
Therapy began his healing, a rebirth of his faith, and the role of a lifetime.
Say my name. Shazam literally happened while I was still like finishing up my therapy, but only, because God was like, good, now you've done the thing. Now I can give you the blessing. You would have self-destructed had I given you this blessing before you did the work. And that's the work.
How does it feel sitting here now knowing, I think at one point I'm reading that you felt you lost God and he was gone?
Oh man, and I was driving around in Austin recently, driving up this road that was kind of near the house that I was staying in when I was having this breakdown in this cilantro restaurant where I was having this breakdown, and I was driving by it, and it just all flooded back. I was like, oh wow, like I remember being right here and thinking there is no hope, and there's no way I'm moving beyond this. There is no way I'm going to live beyond this month. And I was very much alive, and I was very much living my dreams as I was now driving by the same road, and I was so grateful. Oh man, so grateful that I didn't do something so stupid and so drastic, and that I get to sit here and talk about this book that hopefully, if nothing else, helps at least one person walk through the flames that I was able to get through.
Ephraim Graham, CBN News, Washington, D.C.